In 3.1, we're going to see a lot of word problems, and it's basically a strategy of how to solve mathematical problems, algebraic problems, using the language of what we have as translating from English to math. So a couple words that you really need to know: whenever you see the word of, that means it times or multiplication. So something like 1/2 of 20 equals 10, or 1/2 times 20. And I'm going to give a few more examples of this in a minute. But when you see per, that means you're going to divide. Like 20 cars per 50 people. How many people are in a car? So let's say that we have, okay, we already did the 1/2 of 20. If we have something like 1/4 of 20, you would write 1/4 times 20. You could also write 20 divided by 4. Either way, you're going to get 5. If you have 1/5 of 20, that is 1/5 times 20, or 20 divided by 5, or 4. And the reason you can go from 1/5 of 20 to 20/5 is because if you remember, when we don't have a number, if we just have a whole number, as a fraction, that is that number over 1. So this is 1/5, 1/5 times 20/1. So it's 1 times 20, which is 20, and 5 times 1, which is 5. If we have 1/10 of 20, that's 1/10 times 20, or 20/10, or 2. Then if we have 3/4 of 20, that equals 3/4 times 20. Now you can do this two ways. You can either say 20 times 3 and then divide by 4, or you can say 20 divided by 4 and then times 3. I would probably get in the habit, if I were you, of doing the division first, because that's what we need to do when we are getting rid of fractions or simplifying anything. So I'm going to do that. 20 divided by 4 is 5 times 3, which equals 15. And then let's say we have 4/5 of 20. That's 4/5 times 20. 4 divided by 5, or 20 divided by 5 is 4, times 4 equals 16. Again, I could have said 4 times 20, which is 80, and then divided by 5, which is 16. Remember, with PEMDAS, it doesn't matter what order you do the multiplication and division in, because they're on the same level. But sometimes it does make things easier to do the division first, because then you have smaller numbers with to work with. So one of the types of problems that you're going to get here is one number is 8 more than twice the other. The sum is -4. What are the numbers? So we see that one number is compared to another. So what we're going to do is the other is always just going to be x. And then the other number here is 8 more than twice the first one. So first off, we're going to do twice the first one. So that's 2x. And 8 more means that you're adding another 8. So our two numbers are x and 2x plus 8. And it says the sum is -4. So what we need to do is add these two and equal them to -4. So x plus 2x plus 8 equals -4. Now we have it as a math problem instead of a word problem. So now we just solve like we did before. We're going to do first combine like terms. So x plus 2x is 3x plus 8 equals -4. Now we need to subtract the 8 from both sides. And we get 3x equals -12. divide both sides by 3, and x equals -4. So now we know what x is. To find the other number, we need to put it into 2x plus 8. So 2 times -4 plus 8. 2 times -4 is -8 plus 8, which is 0. And if we want to check this, -4 plus 0 does equal -4. The other way that we could have done this is just gone to the end here where it said the sum is -4. So that means the opposite is subtracting. And so we would have -4 minus -4, which equals 0. It doesn't matter which way you do that. For me, whichever one that you think will be easier and faster, go ahead and do it like that. Okay, so the next one number is 12 more than 3 times the other, and the sum is 52. So we don't know what our other number is, so that's going to be x. The first one, though, is first 3 times the x plus 12, because it's 1 more, or 12 more. And the sum, so that means x plus 3x plus 12 equals 52. So this is just like the one we just did. I'm going to say x plus 3x is 4x plus 12 equals 52. Subtract the 12 from both sides. We get 4x equals 40. Divide both sides by 4, and x equals 10. So the two ways we can do this, because it was the sum, we can either say 52 minus 10 equals 42 for the second one, or we can say 3 times 10 plus 12. 3 times 10 is 30, plus 12 equals 42. So our two numbers are 10 and 42. Next, you're going to get something like the sum of 2 consecutive numbers is 95. So consecutive numbers means that they're right next to each other. So like 1 and 2, 3 and 4, or if it said 3 consecutive numbers, 1, 2, and 3. So the first one is going to be x, and the one that's consecutive to that is just one more than, so it's x plus 1. If it had said 3 consecutive numbers, then the next term would be x plus 2, because it'd be x plus 1 plus 1. But the sum of these, which means x plus 1, is 95. So we're going to combine like terms and get 2x plus 1 equals 95. Subtract the 1. We get 2x equals 94. Divide both sides by 2, and x equals 47. So now we just need to add 1 to the 47, and we get 48. And we can add these two together to see if we're right. 7 plus 8 is 15. Carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 9. 95 is what we wanted to get. So our two numbers are 47 and 48. Next, let's say we get sum of 3 consecutive odd numbers is 2271. So odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7. If we did this where it was even, it'd be 2, 4, 6, 8. If you do either odd or even, you're going to do the same way here. Notice that the numbers are 1, 3, 5. There's a difference of 2 in between all of these. So what we're going to do is our first number is just going to be x. Our next one is going to be x plus 2. And the next one is going to be x plus 4. So like here, we're just going to have a 2, a 4. If there were 4 of them, the next one would be 6. And we're going to add these together to get 2271. If you get a question that says even, you're going to do it the exact same way. So we're going to get x plus 2 plus x plus 4 equals 2271. And we're going to combine like terms. X plus x is 3x. And 2 plus 4 is 6. That equals 2271. Subtract the 6 from both sides. We're going to get 3x equals 2265. Divide both sides by 3. And we're going to get x equals 755. So now we need to add 2 to that. So our first number is going to be 755, 757, and 759. Note that I did get an odd number like I was supposed to. If you got an even number, that means you did something wrong. You need to start over again. So remember, if it says to get odd numbers, make sure that your answers are odd. If it says to get even, make sure that you do get even numbers. So the next question is a couple earns $110,000. The wife earns $16,000 less than twice the husband. And we want to know how much each of them earns. So we have absolutely no idea what the husband earns. So I'm going to give the husband H. And the wife earns $16,000 less, which means I'm going to subtract something from twice the husband. So 2H minus 16,000. Together, these two earn 110,000. So I'm going to say H plus 2H minus 16,000 equals 110,000. Combine like terms and we get 3H minus 16,000 equals 110,000. Now because I'm subtracting here, that means I'm going to add 16,000. And we're going to get 3H equals 126,000. Divide both sides by 3. And H is going to equal 42,000. 126 divided by 3 is 42. And we have the 3 zeros. So now the husband is 42,000. So now we need to subtract 16,000. Or no, we need to add because she has more than that. So actually no, we need to substitute the H in for the 2H plus or minus 16,000. So 2 times 42,000 minus 16,000. So 84,000 minus 16,000. And this is 68,000. We could have also subtracted the 42 from the 110. That's where I was starting to do it first. But 2 times 42,000 is 84,000. 84,000 minus 16,000 is 68,000. So that is the W. All right, so on this section 3.1, there's at least one question where there are some really bad spelling errors. Send a message to me through myopenmath for that, and you'll get some extra credit points. And you need to do it by the due date of the assignment. Good luck.